Are there any circumstances or instances where you would support or encourage some form of international military intervention in pursuit of keeping peace and protecting human rights, say Syria? Or would you argue that this would never be the true underlying intentions of the U.S. deploying its troops and therefore not a good option?
I'm going to punt on this question a little bit because I don't want this book about the politics of war to be overshadowed by my ideas about any particular war. Only because, like, Politico.com did an excerpt from the book right when it first came out, which is really nice of them. Like, they really gave it really high, like, billing, like, people in Washington, you need to know what's in this book. And they headlined it, Maddow's Anti-War Manifesto. And I thought, imagine I'm not me, and I'm just somebody in Washington clicking through the Politico thing about what I need to know in the world. Seeing that would be A, unsurprising, and B, not worth reading. I am mostly an anti-war person. I am not a pacifist. I absolutely respect pacifism as both a philosophy and as a way of life. It is not mine. But I, and more power to you, literally. But my ideas about whether or not a specific war is worth it, I feel like right now is less of an important point to make than the idea that what you think about it ought to determine what we do about it as a country. And so I want our members of Congress to get up on their hind legs and assert their constitutional right to be the ones who make the decision about whether or not we go to war. And I don't care if we're going to elect President Jesus. I mean, maybe with President Jesus it would be okay, but no president, yeah, President Jesus, it would work. I was talking with who was I talking with? I was talking with Jay Leno before going on the Tonight Show about the idea of President Jesus, and he just deadpanned that he was like, didn't make it to 35. We might have a president who would give back power that had accrued to his office through the actions and the precedents of his predecessors. But until then, until the constitutional amendment and President Jesus, I don't think that we can ever expect that from a president, no matter how good the president is. Presidents don't give away power, and if you think about it, it makes sense. Put yourself in their shoes. They're elected, they think they're doing what's right for the country, they're in Washington where they feel like they are blocked from doing what they want to do at every turn. And when they can get their way, they feel like it's better for the country than when they don't get their way. And on a national security matter, if they really think it is central to the national security of our country, they want to be able to act in an untrammeled way. They're not going to ask Congress to get in their way. It's just, whether or not it's in human nature, it's not in the human nature of the kind of people who become president. That power is not going to be given away by the executive. It is going to be taken by Congress. And yes, Congress sucks. And they have the approval rating that they deserve. However, even Congresses that suck can do the right thing. The Congress that sucked before Gulf War I did the right thing in their debate about Gulf War I. It was not through heroism, it was through them begrudgingly coming around to the idea that actually, yeah, it was their fault. It was their turn to take the ball down the court. And they will believe that, even if you don't like Congress now. We are the ones who can make Congress believe that, if they believe that their constituents are going to make them answer for whether or not they assert what they're supposed to do in matters of peace. It's hard decision. So you don't have to have a lot of respect for this Congress to have a lot of respect for our Constitution. And what our Constitution demands is that our wars come from the real desires and opinions of our people. And so it's, anyway, I get all head up about it, but you know what.